So first thing here in this beginning room here, there are some NPCs. You can see Vale over there, and then you've got Orfney and the whole gang's here, all the Laughing Knives. And the only one you really want to talk to is Haywire. Actually, I want to talk to Merrick first and get the ball rolling. Um, and Haywire is going to give you this thing called Haywire's Voice. You never want to talk to Haywire unless you're the one in the raid that's assigned to carry the voice. It's that thingy dingy there. And that's just an item you use here in the quest that there's a couple speaking stones later on in the raid in which you're going to use that to deceive the speaking stone and trick it to make it think that you're somebody else. That's all that's used for, and I'll show you where those are at. But just wanted to show you that this is where it's from. And so what happens if you pug this raid and you get like a bunch of noobs, sometimes they're just clicking things randomly and they don't even realize that they picked up this item, and then halfway into the quest, people are screaming like, who's got the voice, who's got the voice, and the new guy doesn't even realize he has it, and there's only one, and if it sort of gets lost in the shuffle, then this raid can become uncompletable. So like I said, when you pug it, people are going to split up usually, but for purposes of this teaching raid, we're going to stay together. And we're just going to kill a bunch of trash as we make our way to the first puzzle.
It's also the way people will try to grease this raid. I've seen that happen before. They'll pick it up and go hide somewhere and go AFK or something. No one can touch the raid.
That's a really good point. Don't be that guy or girl.
Yeah, we had that happen one time, and he DC'd, thank goodness, is the only way we figured out where it was, because it drops when you DC. Yeah.
There's actually two quest items in here. There's the voice that I just showed you, and then there's a ring as well. And the ring drops from a named mob on the other side, and I'll be sure to point that out. But that's another item like that somebody can, if they didn't know what they were doing, could pick it up totally by accident, because it just looks like a purple bag on the ground, like it was a collectible. And if you're not reading, you just think it's a collectible, and I did it, I did it. I remember doing that and not realizing I had it. And these undead in here too can give some sort of undead rot that's unique to this raid, and one of the NPCs gives you a wand or something that you can get rid of it with, but you can also just use heal. I believe that normal like cure disease pots don't work though. And here to open this door, you're going to need somebody with lockpicking skills, or knock, or a bell of opening. Here is the first puzzle, and we're not going to all do this together. I just want to sort of explain the gist of it. So what you have to do is, this is your basic floor tile puzzle where you're routing the light according to the way that you turn the pieces, and there are 5 different destinations that you have to run the light through. So where I'm standing here on the left and right, there's like a junction thingy that you have to run the light through, and then once you do both of those, it'll open up the next zone, and there's 2 more on the left and right that you have to direct the light through, and then once you get those, then there's a final destination that you have to run the light through. And then there's a speaking stone at the end as well that we'll use the voice for later on in the raid. But also, this is a part in which groups will farm conquest because there are endless respawning mobs in here. So usually what you'll do is you'll have like one person in here assigned to do the puzzle and then like maybe one or two more people to help farm conquest. It's nice to have an additional person here because if there's just one puzzle solver, it can be kind of a pain to try to solve the puzzle while endless mobs are respawning. And they come out of these side rooms. So what I want to do at this point is if I could get like one High Lord that knows the puzzle to stay and do the puzzle, and then another High Lord to stay and help with trash. We don't need to do conquest, so just finish the puzzle and rejoin us as soon as possible. Unless you guys want to stay for conquest, I don't care.
I can do both, but it don't matter.
Okay, so Harmonique, you can stay here, and Ed Hits, you want to stay here too?
Yeah.
Cool, thanks guys. Any questions about this puzzle before we move on to the next section? The solution's on the wiki if you can't figure it out. It's not too hard to figure it out. All right, we can head back.
No, I've never looked it up. I just do it.
We don't have. Oh, do we have a D-door? Because that can save us a little run time. Sohu, do you have D-door? All right, everybody, take the D-door. Thank you. Now we're gonna go to the west, and there's a pretty serious trap coming up here in the next room. And you know, if you're doing this at level elite or you're doing it epic elite, it can be a little painful. So it can be really good to have a trapper. Right here, and the trap box is on the right. One of our RDs here maybe can disarm that. If not, then we'll just have to run through it. Hey, you got it. Nice. Nice work.
Oh, my dog.
He did not die in vain. It was a glorious death. We need another lockpicker or a knocker here. Now, right around the other side of where we're at is going to be Auto Knucklebones, and he's going to have the ring that we're looking for. Do we have an unlocker here? So here's Auto Knucklebones. Don't pick up anything that drops here. I want everybody just to be able to see this so that you know in the future where it comes from and what it looks like. Because I promise you, if you keep doing this raid, you know, if you keep hugging it, sooner or later you're going to come to a group where, you know, the leader's asking who's got the ring or the voice. So if you look on the ground right now, you can see there's a purple bag and it says Arcane Signet Ring. So that's the other quest item. It's really important that just the person that's assigned to have that picks it up. And it can be traded too, but as you could, like I said earlier, it's really easy to pick it up by accident, especially people that, you know, are new and aren't paying attention. A little lever over here, right where I'm jumping, there's a little lever, easy to miss. Some traps in here. And a chest. These are electrical traps. These can be pretty nasty, like at level elite. Help yourselves to the chest. Oops. I thought they were all disarmed. At this point, a lot of groups will de-door back, but I do want us to run back because there's something I want to show you along the way. So just grab your chest and we're going to run back to the east. So in this chamber here, we're going to drop down all the way to the bottom. Oh, I can't use this speaking stone yet, but just want to show you that this speaking stone here is one of the stones, the speaking stones that you use the voice with. It's not active yet, so I can't do what I need to do. But if you're ever using it, there's a selection that says like you can either say, like, it asks who you are. You can say, you know, what your name is, or you can say I am I can't remember the other choice. Somebody you're trying to impersonate anyway. So you're supposed to pick, you know, the person that you're not, the person you're trying to impersonate. If you tell it that it's just you, then it won't do the quest objective. So now we're just going to keep going east. some quest or some traps here. Trap boxes on both sides. The electrical barrier thingies cannot be turned off, but the spinny traps can be disarmed. These electrical traps are actually pretty easy to jump over. So this is part of the raid in which we will have to split up. And there's more going on the left side than there is on the right. Thanks for doing traps. So let's see. Musk, why don't you go to the right, Harvester go to the right, and Grotti go to the right? And everybody else will be on the left. So Monks, why don't you go ahead and come onto the other side? And Talk, are you there? Okay, perfect. So at this part, in order to open the doors to continue, there are 3 levers or runes on each side, and they all have to be pulled simultaneously. So usually groups will do a countdown, a 3, 2, 1 countdown. The rune is a wisdom rune. You gotta have it, I think it's at least 20 wisdom. And then the lever at the bottom is a strength lever. And then you typically have a range tune do the top one, but you can actually just jump up there and hit it, which I seem to not be able to do. In any event, it's easiest just to have a range tune. So who on the left can do the range, that can do the lever up top? And then I'll do the wisdom rune, and I need a strength person to get the lever, please. Alright, we're going to do a countdown of 3, 2, 1, pull. Perfect. Go through the doors. They only open for a few seconds, but if you don't make it through, we can just pull a lever on the other side to let you through. You don't have to do the whole rigmarole. So here, if you look out to this platform I'm jumping to, you'll see there's a lever here. You can pull it to open up the first barrier on the bridge. And then there's another pedestal just across the lava there that has another lever. Both levers have to be pulled at the same time to open up the barrier on the lower bridge, but people can just walk up the side supports and then sort of jump around if they have haste and jump. If you have wings or abundant step, you can wing between these two platforms. Or you can climb, you can walk up the supports on the bridge and then feather fall over. There is one more little tip here I want to show you about navigating around here, if you need to, before we continue. If you have wings or abundant step or something, and you fall, watch where I am over here on the other side by the lower bridge. You can just come back up on the side, and you can go up on the supports here, and then you can wing over. Well, I went too far. My snow slide goes a lot farther than wings. But you can just wing over from the lower from the right side to the left. You can go ahead and go through that door. There's a lever here that will need to be pulled, but it cannot be pulled yet. And do we have an unlocker? Cool, thank you. Now for what it's worth, the people that went to the right, they would end up right below where we are right now. We're going to continue to the other side. here, the person that has the ring can walk up to these barriers here, and that's the ring that we got from Odo Knucklebones on the other side. We just step up to the barrier. And each of these puzzle wheels has to be turned exactly 4 times. There's 2 on the bottom, there's another one up top. Go ahead and go up the ladder. See some other trash up here. And this is the only thing that the ring is used for, is just to bring these barriers down. So here is another one of the speaking stones, and we can go ahead and talk to this one now. So, like I said earlier, there are 2 selections. One of them is My Name is Ginger Spice, the other is My Name is Otto Knucklebones. And it was Otto that we got the ring from. So it's the voice, but it's the voice that we got from Haywire Hayworth in the starting room that lets us have this option. So you click My Name is Otto Knucklebones, and it gives you some options. Lower the emergency barriers in accounting, you click that. And channel energy to the North Portal conduit. Alright, we can start heading back. There's a chest we can pick up on the way. We're just going to drop down to the next level there, guys. Right below us. And there's a chest down there. I'm just waiting for others to come through. This chest will need to be unlocked.
And it's been blessed.
Nice.
What about that lever we just left up on the top?
Oh, yeah. Oops. Remember earlier when I said I'm not used to leading this raid? I knew I would forget something. So here's one of the levers here, and this has been pulled already. Now that we finished the stuff that we just got done doing, the left group, this lever can be pulled, and we're going to have to go back and pull the other lever now. And I'm just going to snow slide over there and do it real quick.
I'm already on the line.
Oh, you're getting it? Thanks, dude. Okay, we can go back to the starting room now. Let's wait for everybody to get here. Shrine up if you'd like to. Did you get that other lever already? Thanks, dude. Okay, we're gonna head to the west now. Got some new trash mobs to deal with. I'm gonna go down and use this speaking stone here. I think it should be ready to be used. Yep. Just restored the west portal conduit. You see that check box in the quest box has been checked off now. There's gonna be a bunch of trash mobs around the outside here, so we just work our way around. There's also a quest item, a coffer in the middle here, which we're gonna grab as soon as clear all the trash. Alright, if you go into the center of this zone, and this, we were locked out of this earlier the first time we came over here. I just want everybody to see that there's, oop, this is not available yet. But you can see the coffer that's there behind the barrier. And that coffer, we'll need to get that later, and then we'll get it shortly here. And then that coffer needs to be put into the mouth at the first, I believe it's at the first floor tile puzzle that we went to. Okay, so we can grab this coffer now. The barrier's down. I got it for later. We're going to continue west. And here there's a little room now that we can get into. This was blocked off before. And these guys will activate as soon as you open the chest. So everybody come on in here. Shrine up if you'd like to. So there are 2 shrines in this raid, one at the start and then this one here. And after the shrine we're going to D-door back to the start. If we can get Sohu to give us a D-door, that'd be awesome. Thank you. Everybody take the D-door. Now we're going to go to the east. We're going to need an unlocker here. I misspoke earlier when I said the coffer was supposed to go into the speaking stone at the floor tile puzzle. It's actually over right here where the coffer needs to go into. This disposal speaking stone. I'm just going to wait till everybody's here so you just see. So this disposal speaking stone here, that's where the coffer goes. And you just click on it and you have an option to insert the adamantine bound coffer. And that's all you do there. And then we'll need to go, well, we can just go north now. Now I do want to show you here too, this door here can be unlocked, but if you examine, if you look in the lava and you select, or if you choose to like select non-combat targets, you know, whether that's backspace or Q or whatever, you can see there's actually an iron key down in the lava, and that key unlocks this door. I remember when I was a noob, I thought somebody was trying to play a gag on me by telling me the key was at the bottom of the lava, but there actually is a key at the bottom of the lava. There is a chest and a collectible down below, so you can grab that at your convenience before we exit this room. You just jump down here at the south end of the room. And there's a mushroom around the corner if you're into that sort of thing. Be some rust monsters up here. And then a named Rust monster, the Rust Emperor here. He's got a key in his belly that we're going to kill to get. Now, most groups would D-door at this point, but I don't want us to D-door. There's also a collectible back here. An adventurer's pack. I do want us to run back, because got to make a pit stop at the first puzzle. Talk to the speaking stone. And like I said earlier, usually groups are going to split up and have people do, go east and west and do a lot of this stuff. It would be a lot quicker. But for purposes of today's teaching raid, I wanted us to stay together. We're going to keep going south. This will give you an opportunity to see what the puzzle looks like when it's completed. And again, the solution is on Wiki, but this will give you a better idea of what's going on. As you're coming through the puzzle, just look to the left and right and see how it loops through the rooms. And here's another speaking stone here at the end of the puzzle, and you just tell it again, my name is Otto Knucklebones. See what tasks it has to perform. And we just channel energy into the east portal conduit. And now that's sort of all the side objectives are done. We can actually D-door back to the start now. Everybody take the D-door, please. The Vault Master key that we got from the Rust Emperor opens this door here. And this is the last leg of this part. Everybody who's new...
Just trying if you need to.
Yep. Everybody who's new, first take note that this pipe here, this Mario-looking pipe with a flame shooting out of it, what needs to happen here is that somebody needs to stand on it, and we're going to pull some levers down below that will like shoot an air jet out of the pipe and shoot them up top, and there's some levers they got to get that's going to lower a ladder for us to get up. You can see there's a ladder in the south end of the room, and it's too high for us to reach right now, so they have to let that down. So I want everybody who's new, I want you to go ahead and drop to the bottom. Everybody who's here for the teaching raid, just go down to the bottom. And I just want you to see that there are 4 levers here, and these levers have to be pulled simultaneously, so it's another countdown kind of situation. And then that's what's going to make the air jet shoot up. Also, for what it's worth, you can see there's air jets shooting down out of the pipes above our heads for those of you who are at the bottom. Now, if you ever got here and it wasn't shooting air out, you wouldn't be ready to do this part yet. So something was forgotten along the way. Somebody forgot to talk to one of the speaking stones or something. What usually is going to be the case. Okay, we have someone on each lever, so I'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, pull. And let us know if somebody got up.
I'm up.
Cool. Alright, we can go back up. And we'll just wait for Harmonique to let us up. And while everybody's waiting on the ledge here for this ladder to come down, this is a fun time to grease your friends when you're doing this with your guildies. You just pop a grease right here on this platform and watch everybody fall down. Perfect. Of course, when you're epic level, everybody has freedom of movement. Alright, the ladder's down. Go ahead and take the ladder. There's some traps up here. If you're ever doing this at level and you don't have a trapper, you can run along the edge effectively without getting hit. And here's another part where somebody can be shot up. You can stand on this pipe here and then pull this lever. Or, if you have a good jump, you can actually just stand on the pipe and jump over to this ladder here. Either way. But the new folks, why don't you go ahead and step on this pipe. We'll send you for a ride. Another lever here. And you guys should be able to come up that ladder now. Where we were shooting people up from the pipe. So Oprecious and Sohu, you can just jump across and go up the ladder. And Tolkastado, just jump across and go up the ladder. There's a drawbridge right above us. That somebody already let that down. There's just some ranged levers that have to be hit to bring that down. Just take a look at those as you're walking across the drawbridge. You can see there's one on each side. They just have to be hit simultaneously to bring the bridge down.
And it's not even real simultaneous. Throw one, slide over, and throw the other.
Yep, can be done by one person if they're quick. We're just about to the end of this part. I just want to emphasize that when we get to the final room, we do not talk to the guy there, Arak Dukundarak, because as soon as we talk to him, he's going to lock the room, and that's the lockout point for the pre-raid. People can come in late all the way up to the very end. Here we have 3 locked doors, and between the doors are a bunch of spinny traps. There's a trap box on the far side on the right after the second door. The trap box is right over here on the right of the third door. Alright. This is the final room coming up here. Like I said, do not talk to that guy there. This is the point if you were in a pub. They might tell you to, you know, go grab a drink or something while everybody was making their way here, shrining up. Sometimes people run back to the center and shrine. But it looks like we're all here.
Somebody share the quest.
I knew I could count on you, Ed.
Oh, yeah.
So I understand you don't want elemental damage here.
That is correct. Must go ahead and restart. We'll wait for you. So when we talk to this guy, he's going to lock the door behind us, so nobody will be able to come in late at that point. Or at least they wouldn't be able to get to the end and then proceed to the next part. I also want to emphasize that when we finish this part, do not recall out. I've seen people do that multiple times. The entrance to the next part, to part 6, is actually right in this room. So do not recall out. So when we talk to this guy, the big iron golem in the center, he will activate. And he is immune to elemental damage. But he actually can be healed by elemental damage if there are going to be these elemental hounds that spawn. They're iron, like large iron defenders. And there's like an iron defender of cold and one of fire and so on and so forth. So if that, you know, whatever ones of those are alive, the golem is actually healed by that element. But we just, you know, we kill the dogs real quick, and then it's fine. But even when the dogs are dead, the golem is still immune to elemental damage. Now, if you're a spellcaster, spells that you want to use are going to be things like Ruin and Disintegrate. Other people chime in.
There ain't much.
Yeah, I don't think Magic Missile works.
Anything that does untyped damage, no. None of that. None of the force stuff works. You can throw an Ice Storm and hit with a bludgeon. You can throw a couple of the wind spells and hit with their untyped damage effect.
Blade Barrier works. Druids don't have a lot against them. You got like Ice Flowers does a little bit of untyped damage, but it's not very much. And like Harmonique said, Ice Storm does a little bit, but yeah, Druids just sort of, if you're a caster druid, there's not really a whole lot you can do against this guy other than watch.
But if you're a melee druid, there's a lot you can do.
Hell yeah. Yeah, smiting weapons, I mean, it's just anything you would use against constructs. Musk, are you back with us?
Adamantine.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Focus on the hounds first. You can see like this one over here is RX Lightning Hound. While that one's alive, the golem would actually be healed by lightning damage or electric damage. So for those who are watching the video, I'm just going to throw a couple things here. So this is Ice Flowers. It's going to do a couple hundred. Oh, 589. Must have been a crit. Yeah, so like 269. Not very much at all. But it's, you know, if you're a caster druid, at least it's something you can contribute. and then Ice Storm does partially bludgeoning damage. Either way, not very impressive. But there's nothing else to do with your spell points for the rest of part 5 here, so you might as well blow them. And this is the end of part 5. We'll do part 6 next, but before we go to that, does anybody have any questions about any parts of part 5? Tulk, your name turned green, but I didn't hear anything. Nothing. I'm only hearing static. Make sure your mute button's not on. Alright, once we talk, don't finish it yet. Once we talk to the guy, I'll finish this part. So put your voices on if you want to drink a pot or something. This is big XP. If this is your first time, it can be upwards of 300,000 XP. So I'll give you a few seconds.